Stability thy name is Rolex, a phrase I would associate with the brand. They have been masters at subtle and meaningful evolutions, from their Datejust to their Oyster Perpetuals, and even their iconic Daytona, Submariners, and GMTs, proving the reality of the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So when Rolex peeled the curtain off their release in April last year, everyone was quite shocked to see something so non-Rolex by modern standards, an integrated bracelet sports watch that was a callback to their vintage era. And like many, my first thought was, are they trolling us? Did Rolex just release a PRX? But that's not the case. This might be one of their most important releases in modern history. Let's dive in. If you're looking for a next watch, check out Swiss Connection watches for new or pre-owned watches with new arrivals every week. Thanks. The Land-Dweller has its roots with the Datejust reference 1630, produced in the 70s during the peak of the integrated bracelet watch design era. Interestingly, it was produced right before the Oyster Quartz, except it was powered by an automatic movement. Rolex has taken the core aesthetics of the reference 1630 and updated it to gel with the modern-day catalog. The angular, almost barrel-shaped monoblock oyster case, the fluted bezel, and the 5-link bracelet that were characteristic of the reference 1630 have been refined and reinterpreted exceptionally well for the modern-day Land-Dweller. It comes in a 40mm Oystersteel case with a thickness of just 9.7mm and a lug-to-lug of 46.5mm. On my 6.2-inch wrist, I was pleasantly surprised on how well it wears, because typically I avoid integrated bracelet sports watches that go above 38mm because of my slim wrist. But they've made this extremely wearable, adding to its versatility. The finish of the Land-Dweller is slightly different from other classic Rolexes. The case has a linear satin finish with polished case sides and chamfers that run across the edges of the case. There's also the inclusion of the twin lock crown, which gives the Land-Dweller 100 meters of water resistance, making it very practical for everyday wear, much like the reference 1630. Besides the overall fit and finish, Rolex has massively evolved the watch from its predecessors, both from a visual design and technical perspective. Firstly, there's the dial, which is a fresh new design that Rolex introduced in this model, featuring a honeycomb pattern with hexagonal cells, recessed lines, and the text now framed inside the boxes to make them legible against the honeycomb pattern. But to be honest, I still don't know how I feel about the pattern. Maybe it's because I haven't seen it enough and it may take a while for me to warm up to it, but it is unarguably polarizing, similar to the Seamaster's wave pattern that needed a bit of getting used to. The contrast between the honeycomb pattern on the dial and the flutes on the bezel give the Land-Dweller an odd combination of classic and modern, but I guess that's exactly what we expect from Rolex. One interesting detail is the lack of the laser engraved rehaut, reminiscent of the 1630, and personally, I find it much more functional than the repeated Rolex logo on the rehaut. The dial also features loomed indices with applied numerals at 6 and 9, and a set of new Beton hour markers and seconds hand with the counterweight resembling the hexagonal cell on the dial. The flat Jubilee bracelet, as Rolex calls it, features the two satin-polished large stainless steel side links with smaller polished white gold mid-links. The center mid-links are raised ever so slightly to aid the bracelet in wrapping comfortably around the wrist. Additionally, the bracelet now features the hidden Crownclasp, giving it a slim, seamless profile. And lastly, and arguably the most important feature, is what's powering the Land-Dweller, and that is the new Rolex Calibre 7135. The movement is largely based on the Calibre 7140 found in the 1908 collection. It is still incredibly thin, coming in at just 4.6mm, and features a skeletonized solid yellow-gold bidirectional automatic winding rotor. But what's incredible about this particular movement is the new Dynapulse escapement. While it's not exactly a natural escapement, even though there are two escape wheels, it features a sequential distribution escapement with an impulse rocker, making it 30 times more efficient than the standard Swiss lever escapement. It also allows for the movement to beat at 5 Hz, resulting in better accuracy whilst maintaining its impressive 66 hours of power reserve, and again, an impressively slim profile for an automatic caliber. The Dynapulse Escapement is constructed entirely from silicon, and the movement also features Rolex's Siloxy hairspring, ensuring that although beating at a higher frequency, it remains robust and reliable. The movement finishing is also a treat to see, especially as it has been finished better than the more industrial finished calibers found in the standard models. It features Geneva striping and polished bevels on the bridges, and polished gold chatons. With the Calibre 7135, Rolex proved to their detractors that the brand is still a proper watchmaker, capable of evolving mechanical calibers beyond their current day standards. The Land-Dweller is definitely a highly divisive watch within the community, be it because of the dial or just the name itself. I also think it may be because Rolex did take their sweet time coming up with their modernized version of an integrated bracelet steel sports watch, but the fact that it has brought with it a revolutionary escapement as well as a build quality that is next to none, the brand has to be applauded for getting it right. It also fills a missing piece within the brand's catalog, something that's a bit more exciting and sporty than the humble Oyster Perpetual, but also less utilitarian than the overkill Divers. Let us know what you think. Visit Swiss Connection Watches for more exceptional watches. Also do subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more. Thanks.